Hello, friends, and greetings for the day. Welcome back to another live session of our channel where we love to answer your queries and respond to them to the best in order to help you understand the concepts. Now, the questions are all about your queries, all about your clarifications. Know what's the matter, what you have in your mind. You are free to put it across to me, and I'll be here to help you understand those concepts and understand the concerns in the much more convenient way. So just feel free to drop that question which is running in your mind about ISTQB certifications or about testing altogether. Even if you want to build up a career in testing and you have a question about it, just feel free to drop that here. And we are here together for at least 1 hour to respond to you and answer your queries. So just do not feel hesitant. Do not feel that what others will think about my question. Your question is a question to me. Just feel free to drop that, and I'll be talking about your queries and helping you understand the concepts. So greetings for the day, and welcome back to another live session, team. This is Niyesh Kumar Singh, and we will be talking about the live session in order to respond to your queries. So go ahead, looking forward to your queries to respond to them, and certainly have a few announcements to make, which I'll be coming in a while. Okay, so I think meanwhile we get any questions from all of you, would like to quickly highlight that we are coming up with another public session on ISTQB foundation level, and would like to tell you that the most expected date of doing that will be on September 11th and 12th. Okay, just telling you in advance because a lot of people have come back and told me that 2 weeks will not be enough for us to plan. We would have got some other plans to do, but would certainly want to attend the session on the foundation. So keeping it informed to you at least 3 weeks in advance that we will be coming up with a ISTQB public training on ISTQB Foundation on September 11 and 13. So let me just put that on the chat as well. But later I'll be putting it on the community as well and posting it on my LinkedIn page as well so that you can enroll with the other details. Okay, so ISTQB Foundation training for all on September 11 and 12, 2021. It's going to be a 2 days course with me. Of course, this training will be entirely driven into more detailed compared to the tutorials which you have online. And this is not mandatory for anyone. It's just completely optional that if you think you are one among them who finds difficult to understand just by the videos, or probably you are that one person who feels that you have got a lot of questions to be asked during the session or learning something, then this training is for all those people, okay? Those who feel that they are comfortable with understanding from the videos, those who think that they can just understand from one-way communications, no problem at all. These trainings are conducted only for those viewers who think that I have a lot of questions to ask or I'm new to testing, probably just the videos will not help me, then go ahead and nominate yourself for this training. I'll be populating all the details on my community page tomorrow. So make sure that if you are interested, you follow my community page on this channel or my LinkedIn page, where you will be definitely able to find all the details of enrolling for the certification. As on today, I have decided that from here on, all my public sessions will have the failed candidates or reattempt candidates without any cost as a part of my training. I have decided to train all the failed candidates without charging them even the nominal fees which I charge to other people. So generally other people get charged around 3,000 rupees for this training, which is I think least in the world by the world's best. I can call that now, courtesy Google. So least in the world by the best in the world is 3,000 INR. And I have decided today that I would like to go with training all the failed candidates, whosoever it is. If you learn from my channel or you didn't learn from my channel, doesn't make any sense. Okay, no criterias. As far as you are a reattempt candidate, you will not have to pay me a single penny to be a part of such trainings. Okay, I will not be charging anyone who has failed in their first attempt and looking forward to get certified. So for you, you are welcome and free to join this training at no cost. But yes, you have to follow the process of enrollment where you need to just give me one condition or one documentation which says that you are a reattempt candidate. So you have to give me a failed scorecard from your board saying that you appeared for this exam and you could not succeed. That's it, is what I need to call you as a reattempt free candidate for my training. That's all. So you are completely going to be taught without a single penny to be paid to me, and I would certainly love to do that as a volunteer activity. But for the first attempts, I think I need some bread and butter as well, right? So you will be charged around 3,000 rupees for this training, which is the least in the world. I don't think anybody charges less than that. So just feel free if in case you are interested and you want to just help the people who cannot really pay for this, like reattempts, I'm not charging them. So you might be just doing a courtesy to me to, towards my effort by paying that 3,000 INR for this training. Again, it's completely optional. I'm not making anyone as a mandatory to, go for this training. Without this training, you cannot succeed. I'm not trying to do that fluency at all. It's completely optional, team. If you think you're able to understand with the videos, you're able to ask your questions during this live session, and I'm giving you the answers, more than enough. But if you think, no, I need a detailed content, I need detailed understanding towards each and every segment, then feel free to join this session. I will be definitely giving you a detailed exposure to every single concept. Okay, so with that announcement, I would like to kick off today's session. So already a few guys have started coming in. Federico is here. Hey, Federico, very good morning. I hope your time is good morning now. And Rashidul Alam, hello. Priya Shukla also says hi. Hi, Priya. So go ahead, team. If you got any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box. And let me know if you have got any certain question related to ISTQB, related to certifications, related to testing path, becoming a tester altogether. No matter whatsoever it is, you just have one quick thing to do is type it on and hit enter on the chat box. And I'll be here looking into your queries and giving you responses for them. So what are you waiting for? If you've got a question, do not hesitate. Just drop that in the chat box. I will be here talking about them. Feel free to share anything, whatever is in your mind, and you want a resolution for that. I'm here to help you and make you understand the concept so that we can build a better group of professional QAs. All right, I see people growing in slowly, but I think we don't have questions yet for the day. I will be looking forward to more questions coming up. Let's see if you've got any questions, just put it there. That's it. Okay, so Federico says, I want to book my exam for tomorrow through ISTQB, but I don't understand the time. It is at 21:45 UTC 200, and I'm in Italy, and I don't know if that is the time for the US or the time for Italy. Now, I think they have given you UTC, right? So UTC time zone. So you just have to go to Google. I think I will also do the same thing. You put it as 21:45 UTC. So that gives you a global timeout, okay? 21:45 UTC in Italy. So it will be around 11:45 p.m. Saturday, okay? Today, 11:45 p.m. in Italy. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to be late for my exam. So yeah, I think this is the time, 11:45 p.m. So you are 2 hours behind us, the US time. That's the only difference, right? Yeah, so plus 2 hours. So 21:45 plus 2 hours will be your Italy time. So 11:45. Oh, so you're finally appearing it on today night, right, Federico? So good. I would like to certainly know about your results. You have been exploring the content for quite a long time, and hopefully you've got a lot of queries, and which I have resolved is what I think, right? And in case you still have anything as a last minute questions, you can always ask me. Is that your time, 15:30? Okay, not sure because when I go to Google and put it as 21:45 UTC in Italy, it says 11:45 p.m. Okay, if you can just quickly confirm and ask them to write back to you with the time in Italy time zone, that should be good. No, I don't manage UTC time. It's no, I understand what you meant, but they say that 21:45 UTC plus 2 hours, right? So UTC plus 2 hours means it is 11:45. So your time will be 11:45 when you have to write the exam. No, but 20.42 is the time I want to book my exam. Or you want to book your exam. So yeah, there should be 11:45 in your time, which will be too late. I think so. Okay. So anyways, if you're okay with that time, you can always look forward to that. Okay, let me just try this once again. UTC to Italian time zone. Yeah, it's +2. I would recommend because I don't think you have a daylight saving going on right now. So yeah, just go with that. You just drop them in a quick mail if in case you still need a further clarity. But yeah, this is what the time will be. Okay, yes. Anyone else has any other questions to ask? Feel free to comment below. I'm here to respond to your queries and help you understand the concepts in a much more convenient way. Yes, that's what the +2 stands for. Okay, so anyone else has any other questions? Yes, Federico, you're welcome and all the very best for your examination. I know you have been struggling a lot for your preparation and you have a great dream to come true. So I wish you really, really strongest best wishes so far to any of my viewer, because I've been just like, spending time with you a lot and realizing that, you really need that badly. So I would really, really, from deep of my heart, I would wish you all the very best for your examination and please do well and get this done. All right. I'll be the most happiest person in the world for your success. Okay. So, Yasim, anyone else has any other questions? We see the team is quickly growing up, and but not much of the questions are coming in. I know it's a weekend, but just because everyone will be available over the weekend, I conduct it over the weekend. But as far as people have questions, they join here, ask their questions, and drop out. So it's up to you. Again, if you have a question, just feel free to drop that. If you do not have any questions, you can stay back to listen to other questions and this discussion. Because anyways, this discussion is going to add a lot of value in order to boost up your understanding, knowledge about testing, and help you build a great career ahead. Not only that, if you're talking about testing concepts, it will also add more value to your preparation towards the certification. And you should be really happy to know that the work is on the mock papers are going pretty well. As I promised, by the first or second week of September, you should be having mock papers from my end available for all of you in order to prepare well and escape all those unrecommended sources. So yeah, of course, so you will be having something by the first or the second week of September. So the team is working behind the screen and I'm busy reviewing them to make sure that I put that a little pinch of mine to showcase everything is in place and people do not feel that, okay, this source is also not so reliable. So I just want to, encourage that quality in that sample paper so that people find it really great. Federico says, I have only read the syllabus 2 times and done the 3 exams so many times and went through your course. So that's more than enough, Federico. That's nothing else you need beyond that, okay? That's enough. Just relax for another few hours till you write your examination. I don't want you to do anything else. Just recall what you have read. Are you able to recall them or not? Is there any topic which you're still struggling with? Only target them. Don't read, don't follow the two videos or something. Just let it be. Okay. And Frederick also says, thank you so much for your words. Of course, I'll let you know. It's always my pleasure to know your results, Federico. And again, the best wishes for your examination. So we are looking for more questions for today. We are just quarter past the time, and I think we don't have much of the participants joining in for today's question session. So as far as we have questions, we would love to answer them. If there are no questions, we will certainly call off the session. But yeah, we do have a criteria. If we do not get any questions for the 5 minutes, we will be certainly putting this off. But before that, I definitely can invest some time waiting for you to drop a question. Okay, so meanwhile, just to add, I'll be also getting started on my other channel with Postman in the coming week. So if in case anyone look forward to get understanding of Postman, then feel free to be a part of the other channel, which is Testing in Nutshell. I don't know how many of you really know about my other channel. I do have another channel called as Testing in Nutshell. And this channel is all about testing concepts other than ISTQB. And here we do a lot of tools, a lot of testing concepts other than certifications. So this channel, which you are watching right now, is especially for ISTQB certifications. And on the other hand, I do a lot of tool-based certificate or tool-based training on my other channel, which is Testing in Nutshell. And I'm really happy to know recently we completed a milestone of 1,000 participants or 1,000 viewers subscribing to the channel, and looking forward to add more. But before we could get 1,000 subscribers on that channel, we have already prepared 6 or 7 playlists on the channel. So it was just because many of you asked me that, why don't you do other tutorials as well, other than ISTQB? So I just wanted to keep it separate. So I started another channel which talks only about the testing tools and other concepts than ISTQB. So I'll be getting started with Postman in the coming week. So if in case any one of you is interested to look forward to Postman and understand what is API testing and how do you do API testing with help of Postman, you would certainly have great content coming up there in order to help you. Okay. All right. So there's a question from Zayed. Zayed says, sir, what's the current marks distribution of ISTQB CTFL? And it is computerized or on paper. Okay, Zayed, first of all, the examination is available on both the things, that is offline as well as online. So on paper is not an option, because even if you're writing it offline, you visit a computer center. You visit one of the center where you will be writing the examination, and it will be with help of computer only. Okay, so paper-based examinations generally do not happen. It does happen, but as due to the pandemic, we are not conducting a public exam, which is generally paper-based. Okay, so you don't really have to worry about paper-based things, but you can always write sitting right here at home. We do have online opportunities to write the examination. We call it as proctored-based examination. Okay, so online proctor-based examinations where you can write the examination sitting right from your home. The correct marks distribution is Chapter 1 has 8 questions. Chapter 2 has 5 questions. Chapter 3 has 5 questions. Chapter 4 has 11 questions. Chapter 5 has 9 questions. And Chapter 6 has 2 questions. So let me quickly just drop that for your reference as well. 8, 5, 5, 11, 9, and 2. That puts up together in the sequence of Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and total is 40. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Priya says, after exam, Neeraj, how can I start my career? Once you're done with the examination, make sure that you put your ISTQB logo on the portfolio. That is your CV or resume, whatever you call it as, and start putting it on the different portals which are meant for job hunting, like Naukri, LinkedIn, or any other portals, whichever you're working on. And make sure that you let people know that you are looking forward to a job, and ping all your known people who can help you to get into an industry, because as you would need a kickoff here, you certainly need to get somebody in touch so that they can recommend you as a profile into their organization. So that would be the ordinary way of doing it, unless you have a really strong recommendation, somebody just pulling you in, putting the hand on your head and saying that, okay, come inside. That's it. So that's a different way. I'll be a fresher. Of course, you'll be a fresher in order to get into the QA industry. Okay. Federico says, the reason I ask you about the time is because I asked the same question to ISTQB operators, and they say to me that the web assessor scheduling system has my address, so the time I will choose is based on my local time. Oh yeah, of course. So if you're choosing it from yourself, right, so it will be showing in your local time, so you don't really have to worry in that case. So if these are global systems, so web assessor generally show you in the local time, not in the US time. So if that's the case, whatever you see, you are seeing at your local time, because that certainly creates a lot of confusion. So if you're putting at your own time, then make sure that that will be the time which will be for your examination. No, that should be fine. I agree with them. I agree with them, okay? So whatever time you will be seeing, that should be the accurate time. Okay. Okay, so Priya says, thanks a lot. You're welcome. Anyone else? Federico says, thank you. We're looking forward to more. I don't think we have a great number of people joining in today for our session. Probably they don't have any questions, or they're just busy enjoying their evening over the weekend. And certainly, I do agree for that, because there are many people who have a lot of pending things to be completed over the weekend, and we know we just can't say anything about that. So it's quite open session. If you have a question, you join here. You don't have a question, you just let it be. That should be fine. Okay, so go ahead and drop me a question if you've got one with you, and I'm here to respond to them and help you to answer them. I think I'm also pretty much done with all my announcements, what I wanted to do. So all I can do is update idle for some time until I have a question here. But yeah, don't worry. We are currently going on with mobile application tester. I would have some great recommendations based on your feedback provided earlier. So I'll have a great poll this time compared to the earlier polls before we start with the next tutorial series. So keep an eye on that. And do cast your vote in order to help me understand what would you prefer to have next on my channel. So this session is not only about asking your questions. You got a feedback, you got a suggestion, you got some inputs to help this channel improve in order to help you in turn. Then feel free to share those feedbacks. And this is an open feedback session as well. That means if you're not happy with anything, just let me know. Let the other people also see that, so I don't mind. So as far as it is going to benefit you, I would accept. This is a real feedback, which I'm not worried about, right? The most of the people who have technical channels do not come to the live is because they cannot face the negative feedbacks. But I think I'm open to it, because I always take it as a positive for me. Because if you are not happy with my content, then I think I'm not doing the work pretty well. So I have the courtesy to come online and face that. So feel free, if you have got a negative comment also, I don't mind. If you have got a suggestion, you've got a recommendation, feel free to put that on the chat box, and I'll be considering that for evaluation. And if that benefits you, I would be more than happy to implement that as a part of our content delivery. Okay, Frederick also says, do you remember all items of all activities that a test manager do? Because I don't remember them all. I think this is not possible to remember everything. Yeah, to a certain extent. For example, a person like you who is just preparing for the examination, it might be complicated. But for a person like me who is, through the syllabus multiple times, for example, test manager is the one who is responsible for creating the test policy and test strategy for the project. Test manager schedules all the activity. Test manager creates the aligns the test plan with other test managers, also the testing activities with other development activities. Test manager prepares test summary and test progress reports. Test manager is responsible for creating, building up the careers and determining the mentorship for the team members, organizing the training and giving the coaching, necessary coaching to them. Test manager is responsible for selecting the matrices. Test manager is responsible for selecting the test tools. Test manager is responsible for designing or deciding about the test environment, not designing them. And you do have test manager being responsible for, you know, preparing the necessary progress reports with collecting those matrices. So, of course, I'm not putting all the points there, but I think currently, if you suddenly ask me, I remember at least these points of them, okay? So, but yeah, that makes a lot of sense, which will help you. So even configuration management tool will be selected by the manager. Defect management process in implementation will be done by the test manager. So all these points are straightforward from the syllabus. Okay, so the same thing as chapter 3, static testing. Yeah, static testing again. So if you come to static testing, first of all, the most important thing is the formal review process. There are 5 important stages of that. We have the planning, initiate review, then you have individual preparation, and you have issue communication and analysis, fixing and reporting. These are the 5 major standard stages of review process, and they are done by 6 standard roles. What are the 6 standard roles? We have manager, moderator, author, reviewer, review leader, and scribe. So again, these are things which will just help you recall. Planning is all about planning, defining entry criteria, exit criteria, objective, selecting matrices, roles and responsibility, shortlisting participants for the review, selecting checklist for the same, and a lot many other things. Initiate review is all about distributing the documents to the participants and answering them any questions if they have. Individual review, where reviewers go with, going through the documentation in order to review them and making note of all potential defects. Issue communication and analysis is also called as review meeting, where everyone gathers together and each reviewer presents the list of findings to the author. Author is subjected to analyze those issues, resolve them if possible. If not, the defect is logged and remains open for author to rework on it. And that's what the last stage is, fixing and reporting. So author will fix all the open issues called out during the review meeting and will generally collect all the necessary matrices by the moderator and acknowledge the exit criteria in order to complete the review process. And I hope that makes sense. Priya Shukla, okay, so you are a genius. No, I'm not. It's just that I've been through syllabus a lot many times, so that makes my memory sharp about it. So it's not a magic. It's not that I'm an amazing person or something. It's just that when you go through the syllabus several times, you probably remember page numbers, the location, and the title word by word. So this is what happens. Priya Shukla says, theoretically, I'm able to understand some, but I like to go practical. Is it possible in any such live explanations? Yeah, probably. Yeah, Priya, I put a channel name to you, Testing in Nutshell. I would recommend you go to that channel. That will give you a great understanding of how exactly the tools and testing works in reality, and a lot of understanding will certainly boost your confidence up to compete in the interview process in order to showcase your skill. So these things would certainly add a lot of value in order to help you prepare for the exam, and that would certainly can be done from these channels also. So we don't just want you to make sure that you go by theoretical. Of course, practical knowledge is equally important, and that would come from these tool-based learnings. When you start interacting with tools, you understand, okay, this is how things are managed in reality. Because when I do the tool session, I just don't tell you how to do this. I tell you a real-time scenario. What if you are working on a project and something like this happens? Then how do you do that? So believe me or not, the tutorials on the testing in nutshell will give you a great practical exposure from the practical point of view. Okay, Federico says, thank you so much. You make me remember some things. You're almost welcome. Whatever I'm good at, I can certainly help you with this for sure. Okay, I think we are seriously not having good questions coming up today, but I'm more than happy if I have any questions to answer. What I meant by good is not more questions today, but yeah, we do have a lot of questions coming up from existing users. So feel free to let me know if you got anything. This session is all about answering your questions. I don't have an agenda to share anything here. Federico says the only thing I cannot resolve was the decision table question of the third mock exam. Is the question number 27. Okay, give me some time. Let me open that because I don't remember all the questions from the mock exactly. And I want to share, okay, Vinayak says, I want to share my experience of test analysis exam. Yes, Vinayak, I hope I remember you from the last discussions. The scenario asked in exam were way more tougher than those in the sample questions, but I was able to clear the exam somehow. So I think I just have to say one thing here. Everything is well if it ends well. So we do have a complexity level, Vinayak. We do understand that. We just don't be, I could have done only the sample question explanation in order to give you the tutorials for test analyst. But why do I create tutorials to explain the concept? Because if you know what exactly the concept is all about, let the scenario be anything, I know how to handle it. So they are not preparing you for an academic, saying that if you pass this examination, you are qualified with engineering. If you pass with this examination, you are qualified with BCA or BBA or whatsoever. This is more of a role-based certification that if you really have an understanding, you will be able to answer it. If you do not have the understanding and you have only gone through the sample questions but not the concept, it does not make you a test analyst. As simple as that. So if you are able to pass this examination, is all about your understanding about the concept. Of course, the sample questions are static, and in the examination they can be dynamic. We're just looking at one standard question on each topic, saying that this is how you can expect it. It's just a pattern. It's not telling you the difficulty level. It's not telling you the complexity level. It's not telling you that something similar to it will come. It's just giving you a pattern that be aware there will be a scenario and my question can be anything and my options will be tricky. This is what they're telling you. And of course, it can be replaced with anything else. But before I forget, congratulations, Vineet, for getting this certification done. Advanced levels are really difficult to pass, and this is for everyone's information. Not everyone can really make it through in their first attempt. So I really congratulate you, Vinayak, for being back here and letting us know. And that's really great news. Passing advanced level requires a great effort compared to a foundation level certification. So I wish you all the very best for all your future endeavors. If you have anything, do let me know. We do have a lot of other options for you to explore on our channel. Probably you can look forward to test manager certifications and get certified further. So all the very best for that. Okay, Priya says thank you. Federico says thank you. Anyone else have any more questions? So let me know. And if in case you're thinking I'm doing a pretty good job answering your questions without any cost, don't forget to like the video. I want YouTube to know that I'm doing something for everyone without any cost. Okay, so let people come and ask their questions on this session. Okay, so I want as many likes as possible so that it reaches out to n number of people so that they can come and ask their questions on this live session. Vinayak says, thank you so much. Totally agree with you, what you said about the scenarios. Yes, it is. Thank you so much for agreeing with me. But yeah, it's not basically for you. You anyways done. This was to tell everyone else that, don't be under that impression that if I'm talking about a sample question in my tutorials, if we are talking about the typical sample papers which we have, it's just limited to that. Make sure that your mind goes beyond that. And more importantly is, do you understand the concept? Because if you're clear with the concept, let the question be anything. I know how to solve it, right? So that's the more important thing, what you need to take into account. Okay, so that's one thing to talk about. Let me just go back to Federico questions. As he is having an exam, I would certainly love to help him as much as possible. So he said he could not solve the set C question number 27. Let me come to that. Okay, consider the following decision table for the portion of an online airline system, okay, whatsoever. And they are trying to redeem the reward, redeem points for the reward travel. There are two conditions, Federico. I hope you're listening to me now. Account and password, okay, and sufficient points in place, okay? So two conditions, that is, if they have enough points to claim a free ride with a flight, whosoever it is. And second is you should have the valid credentials in order to log in to redeem that. All right. So that's good. What's the action for it? Show flight history and allow reward travel. So first, it will just show you the flight history also. And second is it will also allow you to do the reward travel. So there are three conditions which they have given you. But in the beginning, they have also told you in the examination question itself that it shows a portion of an online airline reservation system. Correct? So it only shows you the portion because two conditions, there could be four combination. Yes, yes, no, yes, yes, no, and no, no, right? So let's have a look. Suppose that there are two equivalence partitions for the condition where account password OK is not true. One where the account is invalid itself, and another is where the person does not remember the credentials. Okay, possibility. You don't have an account at all. And second is you do have an account, but you are not sure about your username and password. So in the first one, that is account and password, they're saying there are two more classification there. That is, you don't have an account, and second is you have an account, but the username or password is not okay. Now, suppose that there is only one equivalence partition corresponding to the conditions where account or password okay is true. So there's only one partition for the account password okay is true. That means there we are not elaborating it further. So condition number 3 or column number 3 is just one. Okay, don't break it everywhere. That is what they meant. That if you break the first condition, that is yes and no, to two parts of it. For example, account password okay. They are telling you there are two partitions for it, right? The two partitions. One, that the account does not exist, / second, the password is not correct. So they are breaking this into two equivalence partition now. But at the same time, they are saying, do not break all the columns into two parts. It is only for the yes condition. Okay. Now, where both the account and passwords are valid. So that should be fine. Now, if you want to design tests to cover the equivalence partition for account and password, okay, and also for this portion of decision table, what is the minimum number of tests required? Now, I think you should have got the answer yourself that where exactly you are falling under. Number one, the decision table has to be tested completely. So 1, 2, 3 test cases are given to you. And the first one will be broken into two equivalence partitions, right? Where the account is not correct and the password is not correct. So 1 is broken down into 2 now. So 1, 2, and 3, 4. So answer should be C, which is 4 test cases. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Should I also, after ISTQB, need any other certification needed for better placements? I know foundation should be fine to get started with a job, Priya. Once you have a job, then you can definitely look forward to a lot many other things, okay? Other certifications. With foundation, you can definitely kickstart with your career, for sure. Okay, sure. Federico feels better now about that question now. So thank you so much. I think just owe you some little help at this point of time. So let me know if you have anything else. Yes, team, anyone more looking forward to any more questions? We are just limited to a certain number of participants today on our call, but yes, love to answer them as far as they have the questions, keeping us engaged, talking about different things. It's more than enough for us to say that this session was successful. So no matter we have 2 participants, no matter we have 50 participants, but as far as we are busy talking about one or the other thing here, that makes the session successful. Federico also says, I think it would be helpful for other people if you make a video solving this particular question. I think it is the hardest of the 3-mark exam. That's what I told you, that I've got some plans to, ask people at what they want next after mobile application tester, where one of the options will be I solve all the questions of all 3 mock papers and give them proper justifications for each one of them. That would be more of like, you don't really have to take the mock. If you just go through that playlist, which answers all the questions, you are done, right? So yeah, planning to do that as one of the options. So let's see what responses we get, because anyhow, at the end of the day, we go by the audience, what they need from me in coming up tutorials. So we will certainly ask them to, poll for it, vote for it, and see what we can really do for them. You have helped me so much. I want to help you too. I'll share your videos and your live sessions. Thank you so much for that, Federico. But I really didn't do anything in terms of expecting something in return, but you're really kind of that for helping, reach out a better audience level. And I'm really, really thankful to you for doing that. Oh, all right. I'm a gold. Thank you so much. That is like, it's just not a feedback. It's just not a comment. It is that respect what you get when you do something good for people, and people see that, non-partial thing, that you are open to everyone, and you love doing that. Because again, I told you earlier, many people have told earlier that, I do this out of my passion. It's not a kind of, part-time job for me, or it's a responsibility given by somebody else. I do it out of my passion. That's the reason, people generally have seen a pattern in YouTube. People don't come live until unless they have at least 100,000 subscribers. And we are just a bunch of people, like 12,000 people. And still, I thought of doing it. Like, let's start. Let's talk to people, at least help those needy people who need some help and they don't find a guidance. So I really don't care if my session is joined by 100,000 people and then I feel happy about it. No. As far as I'm able to help even one person on my live session, I would be more than satisfied to run this show. That's it. So thank you for giving such, valuable and important comments and recognitions to me, because this is not just a comment or not a feedback. It's a huge respect when you say such things. Anyways, Federico, I think, we will look forward to better comments and feedbacks once you get certified. So, yep, we're looking forward to your success in the examination today. Yes, team, anyone else has any more questions, just feel free to let me know. I'm here for another 15 to 20 minutes approximately, and would like to answer as many questions as possible. Though we didn't have great audience joining us today, but yes, we are happy that we are actually trying to do a lot of help to every individual. Okay, we get Federico saying, yes, you are right, but you will grow a lot because you make a quality content. Thank you so much for that. And that it just says a best wishes to me. And I certainly keep looking forward to do the great work and improvise myself from time to time. So that's the reason I keep expecting a lot of recommendations, suggestions, so that if you're not happy, let me know so that I can do something better. But if you don't come back to me with anything, I certainly assume that people are happy. So I'm doing something good for every one of them. So thank you so much again, Federico. Priya says, yes, as I speak with you, I feel confident and moral support. That's really good. At least I'm being an influencer to, few people who, there's not only you, there are many people who have said this to me before, that not only the technical content, but you, the way you talk, the way you make us understand is more about giving that moral support to us and making us confident about the content, not just delivering the content. So again, as I told you, just one answer for it, because I'm more passionate about doing this, and this is by my choice. I'm doing all these things, creating content, tutorials, coming live and answering your questions is all about my passion. And the one which you do out of your passion will be not done by anyone else better than you, is what I believe. Okay, so doing something or being successful is a kind of, what do you say, is not a legacy system which comes back as a, genetic thing from your family member. It's more about like, how do you earn it? So if you do anything out of your passion, you'll do it better than anyone else in the world, because you are happy about doing it. Nobody is forcing you to do that, right? So this is where I'm doing it, so people find me really, appreciable or recommendable at the same time, because I don't do it as a kind of formality. And okay, 2 questions, I answer, I refer something, then answer you. No, as I have the knowledge, I'm sharing everything and have that, feeling that okay, I can answer all these things. So let me come live and talk to the people and let me see what people say. Because a lot of people still, believe me or not, might be thinking, okay, this guy is not the one who is doing it. This is not the one who really have all the information. So I want to take this opportunity to talk to them. So people should come live, then they can have a live comment here. Let the whole world see that if I'm not really doing pretty well for them, so that I can help him also or her as well. Anyways, we have got a question from Ritu saying, sir, can you explain me what is the pilot projects? Okay. Pilot projects are basically the first trial projects, okay? But we don't use the word trial because in the pilot project, you are just trying to do something. For example, I want to start an automotive company or maybe a brand, like competing with Toyota, Hyundai, Honda, and lot many other things, right? So I want to build up my own brand. So what would I do? I will not just start setting up a big plant and have 1,000 engineers working for me, creating a car, designing something and launching it blindly. No. I will do a pilot project. Pilot project means I'll just draft one car and bring it on the streets so that people can drive it, people can look and feel it, and then share their feedback. Okay, pilot projects are basically to put your ideas into realistic way. Okay, put your ideas into realistic way, and you probably don't need everything. You may be having idea about a particular fuel efficiency. You might be having idea about a design and the body look. You might be having ideas from the concept of making the efficiency of the engine, a lot many other things. So you bring that up in the reality and then showcase everyone that, okay, this is what we did. Now, if that goes well, then your pilot was successful. Now you can do a replica of that 100 times. Create 100 simultaneous cars and supply it to the market. So pilot project is starting with something which you're not sure or you want to give it a try and then want to analyze that what it really takes to make a car. Is it going to be expensive? Is it going to be within the budget? Will the people appreciate your idea? Will the people support your efforts or not? Because if in case your pilot project fails, then at least it was just one car. You didn't ruin your entire life, right? Same way, for example, if I'm going to launch my website to help you understand the mock papers, then I'll first launch few sets and collect those feedbacks from all of you. Some of you will say that, okay, no proper justifications. Someone will say that, no, if you can put me the questions in this manner, I think that will be more convenient. Some people will say, I don't want a timeout because I want to understand the questions, not just take a real examination. Another half of the people will say that I want a timer there so that I can also do time management. Everyone is correct. So what would I do? Will I create 70 papers and launch it together? No, the rework will be difficult. I have to rectify all the 70 papers. So what I'll do, I'll launch 3 papers as pilot project and see the review comments from everyone. If we don't have any negative comments, I'll launch the rest of them. If people come back and say a lot of feedback, I try to consider them, evaluate them, and put it in place, and then launch the other pilot one, which is basically the other phase of it, other 3 papers, and then ask them, what do you feel about this? Then everyone says, yes, 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 yes. Then I go with the rest of the 60 papers with those 10. Okay, so this is what the pilot project is all about. I hope that answers your question, Ritu. If you have anything else, do let me know. Federico, exactly, and no one else brings this quality content in QL like you. Still, thank you, Federico, for that. Pilot projects are good to introduce testing tools as well. Yes, we have covered this in the testing foundation to see how they fit in the real testing process of the company. Am I right? Yes, Federico, you're absolutely right. Right from the chapter 6, which we have done, we do have a pilot project concept for rolling out a tool into the organization for the first time. So I was just trying to again explain the concept to Ritu that this is what the concept of pilot project is. And now the domain or the practice or idea can be anything. It can be just anything. Yeah. All right, team. I think we are having a really good discussion with limited people also. But yeah, I'm really more than happy that yes, things are going good. We just have 10 more minutes to go from our live session. If you got a question, just feel free to drop that on the chat. Still, we have got 10 minutes to answer. And if you got anything else, I'm more than happy to answer them. Anyways, as I'm being idle for some time, let me just quickly recap. We are coming up with a foundation level training program on September 11 and 12, which is a weekend. You will find the details of the certification or the training enrollment Monday on the community page of our channel. Second, this training from here on will be free for all the reattempt candidates. So I'm not going to charge them anything. It's just going to be free of cost for the reattempt candidates. The only criteria need to be fulfilled by them is to provide me that mail from the board that they could not succeed in their first attempt. So they have to just share that mail with me, which shows that they could not pass their first attempt. Okay. As soon as you show me that, you become a free candidate for my training, absolutely at no cost. We'll be getting started with Postman tutorials on our other channel, which is Testing in Nutshell. So if in case you're interested in tools to explore more about it with me, then please be a part of the Testing in Nutshell as a channel and would certainly have great contents coming up there. We already have a lot of tools already as a tutorials playlist, Jira, LoadRunner, ALM, Agile, and UFT as well. So a lot of tools are already there on the channel. You can certainly enjoy them and expect the next tutorial is Postman, which is for API testing coming up next on our channel. And yeah, that's pretty much from my end. Just wanted to wrap up. Can you explain entry and exit criteria? I know it, but still confused. No problem at all. I mean, when it is time to resolve the questions of entry and exit criteria, I usually get confused. Okay, first of all, entry and exit criteria are universal. Okay, they're not specific to any particular phase, any particular part of the project. An entry and exit criteria can be used for entire project, specific phases like design phase, development phase, testing phase. Within testing also, for each test level, like unit testing, integration testing, acceptance testing, or system testing, performance testing, you can separately, again, independently have entry and exit criteria. The question comes back is, how do I decide that? How can I say that it is applicable at every place? For that, you need to just understand that what is entry and exit criteria. An entry criteria is a checklist, or it's a collection of certain items or certain action items, which says that if this is done, you can start the process or start the activity. And if this is done, you can stop the activity. So entry criteria tells you that are these things done, then you can start the process. For example, in review, we do have entry and exit criteria. So to start a review process, I need to make sure that I have defined the objective of review, selected the right type of review, selected the right people for the review, defined the roles and responsibility, selected the matrices, selected the necessary checklist for the review, and the document is in a stable state for the team to review, like it's not still being worked upon. So these 7 or 6 items could be entry criteria for review process. What could be the exit criteria for review process? When to stop review? If we have found significant number of defects, which you can again say probably like at least 5 or 6 critical defects, that could be your exit criteria. If not, you will continue that for some time. The matrices shows that all the planned activities have been done. All the reported issues have been acknowledged by the author, not mandatorily that all the defects will get closed. So you will have a defect closure rate, that how many defects can be actually closed in order to call off the review process. And every single participant is satisfied with the reports that they were given by the author for their findings. So all these things could be called out as a exit criteria in order to say that if these things are done, I can stop the review process. Okay, so this is where we just try to understand that what is entry and what is exit, and they can be used at any point of time. Wherever you want to keep a check that if this is done, I would start. If this is done, I can stop. So it's just like a simple trip. You go for a vacation, you make a to-do list that I want to visit all these places when I'm on the vacation. So that's your entry criteria. Exit criteria, when I'm done doing all these things, my vacation is up, time to go back home. So you just do that. Why would you create an entry exit criteria? I can even manage it, right? Without that, no. Human minds can forget things. So we make a list of it and put it as a documentation that please check these things when you start with the process, or check with these things when you stop the process. That have you finished everything, or anything is still pending to be completed? Okay, so I hope, Federico, that makes a sense to you. And if there are any further questions, do let me know. Okay, thank you so much for that acknowledgement. Yes, and we got 3 more minutes to go from our session. If you got another question, just feel free to let me know. If not, we will be winding up our show in another 3 minutes of time. But yes, of course, we had a great discussion today as well. So yeah, looking forward to any more questions to be part of this session for today. If not, don't you worry. You've got me available every now and then. If you got a question later, drop a comment below. If you got questions after this session, you can always comment on any of my video, and I'll be there to assist you and respond to your queries. If you want me to collect all these things and talk to me over the next live session, just wait for another 6-7 days, and I'll be back again on Saturday to answer your questions. Anyhow, whatever feels best to you, just go with that. Before that, I know we have another thing coming from Kunti Devi. Hi, could you please suggest what is the best site for paid mock test for foundation level ISTQB exam? I think I'm not sure if I've got any such recommendations as of now, because I have never paid for getting any mock test. But just have a small suggestion there. Few people, not many, okay? Few people, hardly, if I have to say 3 or 4 people, came back to me saying that the paid options, the mock test which we got, is available publicly on internet, free of cost. So I simply wasted my money. So again, I'm not asking you who is that who is providing you with the paid money, but again, just be sure about that it's a reliable source and they have a fair policy that if these questions are available in public, they will return your money. So please look into that and then go for it. I don't have any recommendations for making a payment when you have a lot of stupid questions online, because I have myself, trained many people who took some, questions from the paid options, and I declared them wrong. And the institute was not able to answer that, their questions are correct or not. They don't even know. So just be careful, because everyone's money is hard-earned, and I think it should be a reliable source before you invest something. Okay, but this is my experience again, okay? Not everyone's, my experience. When I looked at the question, they were available publicly, or either they were not correct or as per the syllabus. Because I don't think anyone has that knowledge. In fact, I'm telling you, I could have created the sample and mock papers long back. Why? Because I really don't have that much time or that much understanding of creating something of my own, right? I could have. So now I'm starting that, putting that effort on creating the mock papers, because after looking at so many, nonsense on the online things, that they're just putting some stupid questions which are not even valid as per the syllabus, not complete, having the wrong answers. I thought of working on it. That's it. So just be careful with that, Kunti. And if you find them reliable, please go with it. But have a fair policy that if you see them online available free of cost, then please make sure that you have a policy that you can get your money refunded. Because I can also do that, right? I can just collect all the questions from internet and tell you, okay, pay me $1,000 and I pay you, I'll give you 25 question papers. That doesn't make any sense, right? That's cheating. And I don't love to do that. Okay, Kunti says, thank you. Usha, anyways, the time is up, but I'll take this. Hi, sir. When is your next training session for ISTQB? It's on September 11th and 12th. You'll find the details of enrolling for the exam on my community channel. Okay, so please make sure that you just follow on Monday and Tuesday my community page of this channel. You'll have all the form details and everything to enroll for it. Thank you. Anyways, we have hit the clock 1 minute back itself. So thank you everyone for joining in. It was great, and our time interacting with all of you, answering your questions. It was really good, and wishing you, Federico, once again, all the very best. We'll be looking forward to, but fingers crossed, waiting for your result. And I would like to thank every individual here for participating in this 1 hour live session and asking your questions. I always say that this session cannot be successful without your participation and contribution. So thank you once again, all of you, to join in the session and ask me your questions. We'll be connecting back again on Saturday for another 1 hour between 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time to answer your questions. So yes, final question, Kunti, yes, it is for foundation level. So as usual, as I say at the end of the day, thank you so much. This is all we have from this particular live session team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for being a part of this live session team, and happy learning. Stay safe, take care, see you next weekend. Bye-bye.